Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So after almost a month of radio silence in the Animal Farm group, literally, I was looking at this actually. So October 20th, there's a post, then November 10th, there's a post, and then now on Friday. So yeah, I guess every 3 weeks he gives an update or so. Very interesting. So I'm not going to read this one. I'm not going to read all of these, but for those of you that are still tuned in and wondering what's going on, because I've actually had comments on my videos. People didn't realize drip went deflationary, they can't claim or they can't compound, all sorts of stuff. So there's definitely people tapped out. So I know those of you that, are watching this religiously, you're probably like, stop talking about it or whatever, but you got to remember you're not the only ones out there, and many people have no idea what is actually going on and may still have capital over on the farm, which will be black hole finance eventually. So he did give an update. He put the tweet out there about his range optimization, the results, blah, blah, blah. I covered that already. I don't think it's anything to call home about, because I honestly think it's just going to be another big letdown, as has been everything else in the ecosystem. But he was in here not really sharing any alpha. Essentially, things are still delayed. Like there's no potential information on when things are coming out. But he said the test went well, which we've heard before with things. Poor CK is wrecked, so he's hoping that things turn out great for him. Those back test results are looking fire. Nowhere else can you earn those kinds of gains, not even close. Yeah, not even here, CK, I'm sorry. Poor kid. I hope it works out for him, because he just keeps DCAing into black hole finance with these what will soon be seats. So let's see, they're talking about in here about how the model shapes up against V2 and token allocations. Spent 2 months working on an issue, blah, blah, blah. It's always, he does a lot of work and then delivers nothing. So someone was asking about piggy bank. He didn't even mention that. That's funny, because I forgot all about that there's supposed to be a migration for piggy bank. So don't know where that went or where that is on the roadmap. More delusion and gaslighting, because we have no real updates. One thing you mentioned that they'll be going cross chain, so not on launch, but they are planning on being on all available V3 models, so they won't be just on PancakeSwap. Let's see, somebody asked about the launch date, and he said it's probably better. People have things to look forward to anyway, plus it would only push back our date. You can have everything, or you can have a launch date, not both. And we don't have anything or a launch date, so I don't really know what that means. Someone asked about the pre-sale. So they're clearly not tapped in, because there is no pre-sale. You're just migrating from pigs to seats. Let's see what else we got here. This is worth noting, because I'm actually going to cover this from his previous AMAs. So somebody asked, can we single stake cake? Yes, now you can, but single staking will be removed on BlackCube until we release our lending product, which will allow for yield to be earned on single assets, and it will also allow us to build derivative lending products for single asset like options. Remember, this was supposed to have been, one second, the single asset lending we heard way back in January 6, 2023. So we were supposed to have single asset lending on one of these bridges, Seller, AnySwap, or Stargate. I covered this in detail multiple times. So he talked about it in multiple AMAs. You can see here, you just scroll through looking for single asset lending. And then apparently now it's not coming or being removed or what, I don't even know. This makes no sense. You have to actually go back and look at all of the information and stuff we've been told, so that you can kind of tap back into reality and unplug from the gaslighting, because if not, you'll forget all the stuff that we've been told and what the narrative was before. It's crazy. It's like we're living in two alternate realities. So single asset lending and all that stuff was supposed to have come out, and then it just gets shelved, and now according to this, don't even know where it will be. So it's not even on the roadmap. So yeah, it's just baffling. That's why I make these videos, because if we don't keep tabs on this, there will definitely be a new group of investors, and it's not their fault because the information won't be there and they will be fleeced just like the old ones. So that brings me to some of the old narratives that we had that I did want to bring up, because we're literally at like 1 year. So there was this AMA that, shout out to Lee, because at least he still has his AMAs up. Ray deleted all of his videos and not many other people were covering the AMAs. So you lose context on some of this other stuff. But in here, let's listen to this real quick. It's on 2.5x. Let's go down 1.5.
I want to answer this question now, just because we have a few things that are right in front of us right now that that we want to focus on, and the mini DAO is coming with Scratchy. So same as the partnership vaults. The developers who were working.
Let's pause there, because like completely forgot about the partnership vault. So remember, the whole innovation to Animal Farm V2 and Scratchy was this partnership vaults, and it was on the homepage here at one time, and now it's been removed. But it was all about basically partnering with other people so that we could get their tokens on our platform. Not a single other project has been added to Animal Farm. Like, all this talk about this stuff, when V2 launched a year ago, one of the big incentives was that we would be able to pair our tokens with other community projects. And then that alongside Scratchy would add some utility to the ecosystem. Very similar to what the scammer Brian Legend did temporarily, where he was adding liquidity to other projects. And at least he did do that. Got to give him credit for that. At least he did deliver what he said. Forex doesn't do either of those. But it's crazy because, yeah, that was one of the big things about Animal Farm V2. And again, now we've just forgotten about it in the mini DAO and Scratchy. But here he's talking about this, and this is an AMA from February 17th, early this year. So this was supposed to have been coming soon to March 2023.
Working on Animal Farm, V2 Animal Farm, they are now back to working on Scratchy, and we're in the end stages of development with Scratchy. But we will be getting out Dogs Roulette and the single asset lending first, because we are only we are 2 weeks into our 3-week development outline for Dogs Roulette, and we're just putting the finishing touches on the UI now and doing our final test for the contract, and waiting for our writer to present the documentation. And as soon as we get these docs, we're going public with them, and we'll be able to give a launch date, and it's right around the corner. So we got about, I would say, 1 more week before we have all of that put together, and we're looking to go live in March with it.
So obviously none of that actually came true. We still don't have the mini DAO. Scratchies have been shelved for God knows how long, and the single asset lending, as I just showed you guys, like, doesn't even exist. So it's going to be removed. It was supposed to have already been removed, because remember, quote unquote, the single asset staking that we have on the Animal Farm was causing the inflation of the dogs token, and that hasn't even been taken off yet. Like, again, I urge you guys, like, it's insane the amount of gaslighting and moving of the goalposts that we just forget, because he just drags things out so long. And then, of course, the way the energy in the space is, we all latch on to new shiny objects and new things, and that gets your attention. So you forget what was planned, what was promised, why you bought into a project in the first place. Like, imagine planning a vacation, or someone's planning it for you. It's like, yeah, I'm going to take you to, you know, Hawaii or whatever. And you plan all this out, and then while you're on the trip, you end up in Iceland, and you're like, wait, what happened? It's like completely different destination. Nobody told you anything. You just go to a completely different place, and then you get off the plane, and you're like, this doesn't look like Hawaii. Oh no, we were always going to Iceland. I told you that. Like, wait, what? Huh? What? That's kind of how this reality is with Forex's projects. Like, you forget what he planned, what he promised, what you bought into, and then all of a sudden the goalpost is moved, the destination is moved, and you're just supposed to accept it as a new reality, and everybody else around you has accepted it. So you're like sitting there looking like, am I the crazy one? Like, did I miss something? And honestly, if you didn't have the history, you probably would think you were crazy. Let's check this out also. Shout out to Lee for actually having this up here.
On ramp with the cross-chain functionality, with the new lander that it's going to be. So this is why we're giving March. So March is going to be big. In March, we're both going to get out the drip UI. We're going to get out all of that functionality that comes.
March is going to be big. That was March of 2023. And remember, we already know about the drip UI, so that didn't come out until July. We'll look at the road. I think it's on the roadmap here. We didn't get that until July. So we're not going to dig into that one and all the issues that came up with that. But launch of drip drop draw, launch of, there it is, June. I'm sorry, give it one more day, one more month. Not completely off.
Comes with it, including drip drop draw. And we're going to be releasing one of the major utilities for Animal Farm, either Dogs Roulette or single asset lending in March. And
so Dogs Roulette and single asset lending have not come. Maybe he meant March of 2024. Maybe that's the case.
I'm not 100% sure which one. I'll know very shortly which one we're going to go live with first in March as far as the single asset lending or Dogs Roulette. But they will both be finished by March, which means that
neither of them are finished. We lost Dogs Roulette completely, and it turned into Piggy Plinko, supposedly. Just makes me think that there was never a Dogs Roulette to begin with. And then single asset lending, as you just saw, hasn't even been migrated or changed, or they never even pulled it off the Animal Farm. None of that's been done. So literally 8 months later, we're still in the exact same position.
In either April or May, we can launch that. And I'm thinking April. And the reason why I'm thinking April is because the call that I just got out of before I got into this AMA is in regards to the game, which we finished development in April, and we can go live with that in May. So so this is what I'm saying.
And the game he's talking about here is the one he tried to steal from ZZ. This was Bitfighters. So that was another lie.
When I talk about putting in the groundwork, we're going to be able to release a major new product essentially every month or every other month, taking us deep into fall.
Definitely wanted to cover that. Release a major new project every month or every other month. So remember, that was his statement. He had said it more than once. This is just the AMA that I found. There he mentions that again. And we did not see that at all. So again, remember, you're investing in DeFi and crypto and all these things because of the potential for the value of that investment to go up. So just like you invest in Tesla or Nvidia or Microsoft or whatever, OpenAI now, all this stuff, right? Because they're telling you of the things that they're developing, or you're seeing what they're going to do. That's why you buy the stock, and you're hoping that that company delivers on what they're telling you that they're working on and what the roadmaps are and things of that nature. So all of us bought into this narrative. Had to show this old one, so had to capture this from an old screen. And this isn't even the oldest roadmap. So this was November, from a AMA, November 24th, 2022. This is what the Drip Wiki looked like. And remember, before we had this, we had a different roadmap. So all this already changed. This is what we currently have as of today. But you go back here, we had Animal Farm V3 launch on November 1st. And then it's even moved off of the current Drip Wiki. So like, they even changed some of the quote unquote deliverables. That doesn't make any sense. So like, the last thing for the current Drip Wiki, so if you go here, is September 27th. But then you go back to what used to be there, we had V3 launch. So remember, we're still waiting on V3, but at some stage, it was in November, it was actually said that it was done and launched, but it wasn't. All that actually was the update to the UI with some of the commas or something happening with the stakes. I can't even remember anymore. Again, that's why you got to keep up with this stuff. It changes so much. But this is just a perfect example of like the gaslighting and literally what happened on the Animal Farm with the rules being changed because the poor animals that couldn't read. So then they just look at the board and go, wait, that looks different, but I can't quite put my finger on it. So now you see all this stuff that was planned for 2022, Mini DAO, Drip Reservoir Layer 2, Drip Fossil. Well, we did get Triple T, Stargate Bridge, Dogs Roulette, all that stuff gone. We did get the fiat on ramp, but look what happened now in 2023. So all they did was drag this out and change some of these narratives, but none of the stuff he said that was coming actually got delivered on. The only thing we actually really got this year was the migration to the new Drip UI. That's in June. and we got the fiat. Does the on-ramp work? Yeah, the on-ramp works, the off-ramp doesn't. And I think the on-ramp doesn't even work for everybody. So there's still some issues with that. So you got the drip UI, you got the fiat on-ramp, cross-chain functionality, that doesn't actually work, does it? I don't even think that works. Anyway, a lot of half-ass stuff on the drip UI. And then luckily we got triple D, but the narrative he told us of every month, every other month, just completely lost in translation, completely gone. We're already at the end of 2023. And I don't even think we're going to see Animal Farm V3 come out in 2023, because as you saw from his latest notes, there's nothing to announce. So this is insane. And that's why I keep making these videos. And most people in the drip community that were doing content have just stopped talking about it. But I feel like I have a moral obligation to each one teach one, each one reach one, because there will be future people out there. And this to me is just as integral as leaving a review on Amazon or a review on Yelp or Google Maps on a location. There needs to be the 1-star reviews of people's experience, because currently in the drip ecosystem, out of the 30 to 50,000 wallets, I would argue that maybe 20% have had a positive review and the other 80% have not, but they're not speaking up. They're not talking. They're not literally leaving posts anywhere. They kind of just said, screw it, I'm out. I'll take the L, and they've left, which they have that right to. But since I make content, I know that there's going to be future people, especially when the bull run comes up and everybody's just excited about everything, that whatever this new narrative is that Forex and his cronies rewash, then there will be future people to get wrecked. And like I said from the beginning, my goal while creating this channel wasn't to empower the impoverished. Empowerment starts with knowledge and awareness. And without that, you're literally just going to be a pawn to everybody else. And that's what I see happening in this ecosystem. They're just taking advantage of unsuspecting people and then throwing a blanket of do your own research or not financial advice while innocent people get wrecked. So I personally can't sit by and let that happen. So I'm going to keep beating the drum and having content out there. That's why Ray deleted his videos, because he couldn't stand up to the heat. And there's very few, like I even told you guys about the AMAs, the notes are gone. Can't even find the old AMA notes. I made copies of them, luckily, but even that's gone. So it's crazy how quickly things change. The 2022 notes are missing. I forgot to show this GIF that he showed for BlackCube. Hold on. Let's take a look at this. So this is a video of the UI, I guess. It seems as though he just threw this out here so we'd have something to bite off of, I guess. But we've seen UIs before where he's put stuff out and then they're not even done. So this doesn't really tell me anything personally. And the fact that we're still sitting around waiting and that this is all he has to show for it, when UIs can literally be created in a couple of minutes with tech now, it's I don't know. You tell me what you think. It's interesting to say the least. All right. So anyway, that's the updates from Telegram reference black hole finance and what's actually not done or coming soon or whatever the case may be. But we will see. I will keep you guys posted, even if you don't want to hear about it. That's my job. All right, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.